was a little bit of One Punch Man content. Short video from Chibi says, One Punch Man Season 2 key animator and action animation director calls out anime for poor direction. So hold up. How does this make sense? So you have the key animator and the action animation director who is in charge of directing the anime. Who are they? Are they blaming themselves? Just conceptually, even before starting the video, I'm a little bit confused. Anyways, let's see what's going on.
This individual right here is the animation director of One Punch Man Season 2. Forgive me, I'm about to flashbang you, but this is the individual in question. You can see what they've worked on over the years, and as you can see, they are associated with One Punch.
Oh, this is calling out Supercube. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought that this is like One Punch Man drama. No, it's the people that worked on Season 2 One Punch Man, which is kind of it's not kind of, it is controversial because of how great Season 1 was, and people are then comparing, the quality to Season 2, even though I think that it looks pretty decent. A lot of people got shit on it. Anyways, those people who got shit on it are calling out a different anime.
Punch Man Season 2 and One Punch Man's OVA. You can see kind of the episodes they've worked on as an action animation director, key animation, etc., etc. You get the point. So this individual made a public post a few days ago that is making the rounds in the anime community and getting quite a few people upset. You don't believe me? Let me pull it up. So basically, this is just a fraction of some of the quote retweets on the post. You have people in Japan and different areas around the world kind of talking about the situation, but you see people putting this individual, this director, under the microscope and basically talking about, okay, so if you're going to be very harsh, do a lot of harsh criticism towards this really good anime, then I expect maybe One Punch Man Season 3 to be just as good.
Yikes, that's what I'm saying, right? You shouldn't be throwing, stones at other people's houses if your house is also, made with glass. As in, like, if you don't got your shit together in the first place, calling other people out, it's kind of like a backfire, right?
And a lot of people are bringing up, for instance, One Punch Man Season 2, and just how people's reaction to it was, let's be completely blunt, very negative when it actually released into this.
Is it that bad, though? I still haven't seen the anime. The popular narrative is Season 2 got completely butchered by JC staff. How could they do this? But then I go and look at some of the clips and look at, some of the scenes that was highlighted, it looks pretty good. Like, not Season 1 good, but pretty good for industry average standards. But obviously, now that you're being compared to a fucking love letter project that had the industry's best talent working on Season 1, there's no way, there's no way you could have a good feedback for Season 2. So I think the criticism is way too exaggerated.
This very day, a lot of people view One Punch Man Season 2 as a straight-up downgrade in every single way in comparison to the first season.
That probably is the truth. Doesn't mean that the anime is bad, but downgrade relative to Season 1, I could definitely see that happening.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to get into exactly how this started and why this comment was even made in the first place. So this right here, this animation director, he basically said this. Now this is Google Translate, and apparently from what I can find out, there is some inaccuracies with this translation, which I will cover. But regardless, there does need to be something said about this statement. So first off, let's read it. It's great animation, but I don't feel drawn to it.
Drawn to it, get it? They're drawing.
I guess it's because the direction isn't that great.
Eye emoji.
Shown
the passive aggressive eye emoji here. The direction isn't that great. Stare.
At the same tempo and with the same tension, it just flows by without time to absorb it. Also, please stop using the same layout, movements, and expression as certain super animators' drawings.
A certain super animators' drawings? You telling me that the people working on Supercube is, what's the word? What's the word? It's not procrastinating. What's the word when you're copying off of some other people's work? Well, I haven't been in high school for a long time. What is that word? Anybody in chat know what I'm talking about? The act of copying. Plagiarism! Jesus Christ, chat. You guys are so fucking slow. Plagiarism, bro. Yeah, that's what he's implying right now.
It's a shame. Now, there's a lot to take.
Yeah, the eye emoji, though. The double eye emoji here, bro, is crazy.
Take away from this post, and before I get into maybe the mistranslations of this post, we need to showcase exactly what he's talking about. So
Yeah.
this individual right here is talking about this animator, Neon41, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but
Webgen
basically
animator?
they've been working on this anime called Supercube.
Yeah.
I recently have discovered this series, and I think a lot of people have recently discovered it. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I saw Supercube making rounds on Twitter when people were sharing the Sakuga, you know, crazy ass trailer moment. It looks insane. I hear that the story is really bad though. I hear that it is nothing like 2B Hero X's, you know, storytelling or link click. That this anime is just heavily carried by the animation. And not only that, I hear that it's only certain episodes where the animation is giga cracked and then the rest is pretty mid. Again, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just what I've been hearing online. YouTube, come on. Bro, what is this buffering?
No, its existence basically.
Jesus Christ, let's go.
But this clip has been making the rounds in the community for a bit now, for the past few days, and this is the animation clip that the One Punch Man Season 2 director was talking about.
Looks
this
good.
Right here. And anyone taking a hard look at this surface level will be like, holy crap, this looks good. What?
Absolutely. To the untrained eye, anyone is going to think that this is good. But I guess to the industry veterans and the masters of this craft, right? There are things to be criticized here. Are they nitpicking? Are they just hating because they're jealous? What's going on?
Is he complaining about? And there is some criticisms to be said about this, which I will get into. But in general, on surface level, this doesn't look that bad. This looks absolutely incredible. This is great art. This is great animation. It looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And I don't know too much about Supercube. I'm going to clarify this, but I believe that this is a Chinese anime. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Please do so. But regardless, there is definitely a different style here. You can see that, you know, there is a uniqueness to this. There is some replicas maybe to super animators within the, you know, the anime industry. But overall, it's a really good sequence that was done by...
I wonder exactly which animator, you know, that guy is talking about, because it's so... Man, this is like high school drama. He won't state the animator's name. He's just like quietly subtweeting and say, oh, there's just a certain super animator in the industry that you're copying, you're plagiarizing.
Yutaka
Nakamura? Really? Yutaka Nakamura. Let's pull that up. Yutaka Nakamura. Right over here. And what has he worked on? Chart. There it is. The Giga Chat himself. Yo, look at the aura. Look at his sunglasses. Bro is 57. He's worked on, MHA projects. That's pretty big. Frieren. That's huge, man. That's huge, right? What else is there that I personally know? More MHA stuff. Mob Psycho 3. That's crazy. Remember, Mob Psycho anime is fucking cracked. More My Hero. More My Hero. Kekai Sensen, I've heard a lot of good things about that. More Mob Psycho. One Punch Man, Key Animation Episode 12, bro. Right there. Right there, bro. Season 1, One Punch Man. Episode 2, which I'm assuming is the finale. Which I'm assuming is the Boros versus Saitama fight, right? This is the guy who popularized the cubes. Utapon cubes? Oh, that's what they call it, the Utapon cube, because it's Yutaka. Ah, okay. So yeah, this is definitely like SSS tier rank animator, right? If we're gonna be using soul leveling, power scalings, right? Man, he's been at this for a long time. Look at the resume, bro. It just keeps going. Bald. Saint Seiya? He started off doing in-between stuff for Saint Seiya back in the day. Yo, that's pretty hype. Anyways, you clearly see the resume. This is the guy they're talking about.
41. So basically, you have this individual, the director or animation director, clarification.
Is this guy straight up calling out the cubes here? Like Utapon cubes, the debris style animation. There's no way he's saying, "Oh my god, you're copying this." Like, listen, like debris, the cubes, the impact frames, all that stuff. It might have been popularized by that guy, but like if anyone attempts it, are you then like disrespecting the creator and plagiarizing his work? That's a bit too much to say, right?
There is some replicas maybe to super animators within the anime industry, but overall it's a really good sequence that was done by Neon 41. So basically you have this individual, the director or animation director, clarification,
nuclear drama,
commenting on this scene, basically saying that it's kind of bad. It lacks tension and all sorts of stuff. Stop trying to copy people. It's a shame. And this comment right here is what's really bugging a lot of people about the statement, where he says it's a shame. And according to what I could find out, apparently
it's a shame is what you're triggered by, bro. I be PMOing off of the fucking eye emojis. He hit us with a double eye emoji, man. A little passive aggressive.
Apparently, it's a mistranslation. This individual kind of clarifies it. I guess people should learn what the meaning of motanai is, because he didn't say it's shameful. He said it's a waste.
Oh. Yo, that's okay. The context suddenly changes. It's shameful sounds more respectful in comparison to it's a waste. It's a waste is like, they're basically calling this shit like talent is wasted here. You guys are copying, our super animator, Yutaka, and there is nothing inspiring about this. What a waste. That's what this guy is saying.
So I take it as it's a waste of talent from that animator. Shameful sounds like an extreme way of translating motanai, and then they go on to further say, and he wasn't harsh with his criticism either.
Okay.
Where's the harshness? In the fact that he slightly deviated from the Japanese stereotype of being super polite when speaking.
The harshness is the insinuation that you are plagiarizing another person's work and calling it a waste. That's what it is. You don't have to say a slur. It is the it is the clear passive aggressiveness in the statement that comes off harsh.
Nothing he said sounds harsh, but all the comments English speakers throw at him are harsh. Now, regardless if this is true or not, or if this was properly translated or not, it is facing a lot of backlash. For instance, the animator in question is facing a lot of backlash for this comment, because obviously this individual did work on One Punch Man Season 2.
And Shimoneta right over here. I noticed that. He worked on Shimoneta. Also Prison School. Right? Is it? Oh, and Danmachi. He's a Danmachi guy as well. A lot of fan service shows.
And as we all know, One Punch Man Season 2, and a lot of people can agree, wasn't as good as Season 1. Now, I think that it's a little bit unfair, because obviously JC Staff never was going to be capable of ever being able to replicate One Punch Man Season 1.
Yes. Stop blaming JC Staff. They got fucked with a project that could never be, delivered. The slander towards JC Staff is so sad, considering how much good animes they actually pump out, the sheer volume and scale of animes they pump out. I've enjoyed so many of JC Staff anime. I have nothing bad to think about them, but there's so much slander, man. There's so much slander towards JC Staff because of this incident, which again was an impossible, situation.
But obviously it doesn't change the fact. The audience will complain, or the audience will talk about what they want. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's just in the story. That's what it is. And people genuinely thought Season 2 was just not as good, and was not as beautifully animated. So when you factor in that criticism, and you have this animation director coming in and critiquing this work that obviously looks really good surface level, even if there's some areas maybe you can talk about, it's going to rub people the wrong way. It makes a lot of sense why it would. Especially when we all know at this point in time that One Punch Man Season 3 is in the horizon from 6 months from now, set to.
Yeah, this guy fucked him. Oh man. This guy has single-handedly opened up the floodgates for unnecessary. Like, he put a target on his back, right? Like, you can't be talking shit like this when such a big project is showing up, and man, a lot of people are already mad and upset about it. They're going to drag this guy. Now, I don't think this is going to go so viral. I don't think most people even know about anime directors' names, right? This is definitely the way more like niche audience who are actually caring about, anime industry related news and drama and following different talent in the industry, right? So I don't think the casual audience is going to give a fuck, but this definitely doesn't do any good, right, for him and the team working on One Punch Man Season 3. You're just putting a target on your back. You've raised the expectation because you're slandering. Like, you cannot be throwing stones at other people's houses when yours is made of glass yourself.
air 6 to 7 months from now, and we still don't have a staff listing. Don't believe me? I'm gonna pull it up. Give me just a second, I'll pull it up for you. So this is One Punch Man Season 3, and we can take a quick look at their staff listing here if I click this, and you can see that there's basically no staff really confirmed. We don't really even know at this current time, unless there's somewhere else that clarifies, we don't even know who the director is of Season 3.
What's going on,
this
man?
is literally set to air this year. Like, it is set to air in October of 2025.
We're cooked. This is looking so bad. Surely, and this isn't just like a website issue where they haven't uploaded the data, right? They should delay it. There's no reason it needs to air in October 2025. Put that shit in 2026 and take your time with it. Like, nobody really cares if it's going to be delayed or not. At least I don't care.
And we still do not have a staff listing. It's scary. So what I'm trying to say is that indirectly, what this man has done has now managed to put One Punch Man Season 3 in the crossfire.
Yes, and the kind of fucked up thing is this guy may not even be working on One Punch Man Season 3. He's associated with Season 2. People will drag his name in this tweet and blame Season 3. But there's a chance that he doesn't even work on it. Do you understand how, like, fucked up this kind of is? Where he has now put a target on other people's backs that didn't do anything. You know? That part, he is. I mean, well, on the anime list, it's not present, right? There's a chance that maybe he's not on it, but imagine a situation where he's not even on it, and he's put a target on those people's backs.
Of more
Oh, he's in-house for JC staff? Okay. So he probably will be working on it. Okay.
Criticism that is to come. It was already going to get criticism, because obviously things that are building up towards it maybe not being as good. But now that you have a statement like this, people are going to come back to this. Like, when One Punch...
Absolutely. Also, this tweet over here, he's 19, Lamau. This is such a harsh message for a guy that is easily one of the best upcoming talents. Man, that Supercube animation guy, that WebGen, the Twitter guy, right? 19 years old, huh? Wow.
Punch Man Season 3 airs, and if it's not as good as what people think it's going to be, they're going to come back to this tweet, and this man is about to get flamed. Yep. I'm not saying it's warranted. I'm not saying that, but obviously people are very upset with this comment, and I just like, yo, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of crazy stuff's been going on. But yeah, I mean, overall, talking about the sequence in general from Supercube Episode 7, I'm not gonna lie, this does make me want to watch the show. I might have to sit down and dedicate some time to it. However, there is something that does need to be stated that is a negative to this show that lot of people for some reason aren't talking about.
The story?
Even though obviously everybody's
Chinese dub?
attention is on the art and animation. Apparently, there is AI-generated dub for the series. Don't believe...
Yeah, I will listen to the Chinese dub instead. Like, I also, this is funny. Relevant people, Rami Knight 644 blocked. that's kind of funny to me. Wonder why Chibi blocked that person anyways.
Well, I mean, just listen to this. This is a dub from Supercube. I'll let you listen to it.
Oh no! So hard. I lost again.
Take the punishment. Your turn to answer the question.
Take the punishment. I'd listen to the Chinese dub every day. I'm not listening to fucking AI dub, bro. AI subs? Yeah, maybe, right? I think that AI subs definitely has a place when, you know, Crunchyroll's fucking up a lot, right? But this, I'm good.
Question.
I don't think you need to listen to any more to really get a good idea, but basically, from my understanding, Supercube has been using, like, AI-generated subtitles, dub, etc. to be able to, more or less produce. I don't know how factually correct this is. Maybe this is a big meme, but I believe it's probably correct. I'm inclined to believe it. Regardless, I'm assuming if you do want to get into the series, you probably should watch it in its native language, probably in Chinese or in Japanese. If you watch it in English dub, it's probably not going to be that good. That's my takeaway from it. But regardless, I will say this drama has gotten ridiculous. A lot of people have been adding me at this and telling me, hey, Chibi, you need to talk about this. This is kind of ridiculous. You know, the One Punch Man director, you know, being very harsh with Supercube. Yeah, I wanted to bring this to people's attention because it's kind of crazy stuff. Do you think that the director was in the right for what they said? Do you think that they were too harsh?
The messaging is very... It's getting lost in translation, right? I don't think a lot of people understand Japanese culture that much, and the language barrier definitely is getting in the way. Like even at the end, the biggest part I think is the shame, right? Obviously, he immediately said it's great animation, but I don't feel drawn to it. It's a perfectly fine statement to say, right? He's saying that it kind of lacks that like depth, right? Because it's a brand new animator in the industry and he's an up and coming talent. That's for sure. Maybe this is an objective fact, right? And sometimes objective facts hurt. But I guess it's the way that it was said at the very end where rather than it's a shame, remember it got translated into it's wasteful. And depending on how you interpret that, it could come off very negative and, low-key petty, right? Some high school drama bullshit, using eye emojis, subtweeting, stuff like that. So this Google Translate may be blowing this director's tweets out of water when his intention was not to basically have high school drama happen. But, I don't know. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it, huh? Because the damage has already been done. The thing about social media is it never matters what your intent or what you actually are doing. Because people will just go with the headlines and drag people's names. And by the time the truth comes out later on, it's already too late. For example, recently, it's a completely random drama, but there's a streamer, right? There's a content creator known as Emiru, right? I'm sure you guys might know of Emiru. They were dragging her yesterday on, online forums, calling her a fucking PDF file off of random schizo fucking receipts, and everyone was brigading it. And then the damage has already been done. And then it turns out it wasn't her. But guess what? The damage has already been done. Like, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing about social media. People will just drag people off of misinformation, and it doesn't matter what the truth is. That's just how it works. It's fucking sad.
I do want to point out, though, by the way, that Neon41, like the individual that did the scene and animated it, apparently they're only 19 years old. So to see this stunning level of animation from a 19-year-old and at that is impressive. And I think that it's just like, clearly this individual is still trying to find their place in the industry. They're still trying to come to their own creative style. And
imagine like a big content creator shitting on a small content creator. It kind of seems like that, right? Like a big established like YouTuber like calling out like a small channel. It's kind of like that. Like, think about that example.
And the fact that they're getting this harsh critique at just the age of 19 is kind of wild to me personally. It's like, this is some stunning stuff. Like, this is some super level animation stuff. Even if it isn't perfect and there might be areas to critique, it is still very freaking impressive for a 19-year-old to be able to do something like this for this long of a stretch.
Yep.
That is insane. But I'll leave it at that, though. You all have a fantastic...
That's pretty much it. Who really knows what the true intent behind this messaging was, right? Because at the end of the day, language barriers, man. Google Translate, man. But that's the thing, right? The damage has already been done. People will probably use this as an opportunity to blame JC staff when things inevitably do go wrong, right? Things will go wrong no matter what, right? Problems gonna happen. It's just natural, but there's a target on you now. You put a microscope on your... Man, they better fucking delay One Punch Man. They better delay that shit. October 2025? Nah. Put that shit in 2026 sometime. I'll still wait for it. Please check out Chibi's channel. Here's a link to the video. Bang, bang, bang. Go give it a like. Check out his channel for more content like this, and I'll see you next time.